The late Deputy Secretary General of the ANC, Jessie Duarte, left the party ahead of the policy and national conferences this year. With corruption and factional battles plaguing the ANC, many believe she could have contributed a great deal to its renewal goals. Let's bring in Sibongile Besani, who heads up the ANC Presidency, as he joins us to reflect on the road ahead. Mr. Besani, it's great to have you with us on the program. Thanks very much for coming on. I think Gwede Mantashe and his reaction in the wake of the passing of Jessie Duarte, when he said, you know, she couldn't have left us at a worse time. That's quite telling insofar as the role she played within the governing party.
Thank you. Good morning, and thanks for having me. Indeed, the national chair is correct. As you would know, that the African National Congress has been grappling with many challenges. And as we grapple with many challenges, we actually need hands on the deck. And the DSG has been quite central to stabilizing various areas of the organization and the organization broadly. And therefore, her departure in this manner is quite leaving quite a gap. And especially after having gone through local government elections that were quite tough, and having faced those tough local government elections, we are now faced with the issue of going to the policy conference and the national conference. So in that context of those bigger challenges that she has been grappling with, and the fact that we need to move on a number of areas, her departure is quite a serious gap, and we're going to miss her quite dearly. It will be difficult to fill those shoes.
Yeah. Tell us more about, you know, her demeanor in those really tough meetings that no doubt take place in the top echelons of the African National Congress. Those top 6 meetings, those NEC meetings that are dealing with serious issues of, among other things, the president and when he will avail himself to the ANC's Integrity Commission, corruption in the country, the issue of getting people with clean records into government. How hard was she insofar as her thinking was on how the ANC needed to act in the months ahead?
Look, one of the areas that I need to indicate is that, you know, as part of the SGO, you need to have strong administrative skills. In other words, so that once those skills, you are able to put the organization on the pulse of the society it needs. So Comrade Jessie Duarte was very strong there. So in other words, she was able to bring up issues in the meetings, in the organization, issues that were like experienced in the one rural area of the country. You know, she was able to bring them up, escalate them into those meetings, and therefore she was able to really give the organization a lot of information about what is happening in the country, what is happening in the organization. And it is through her skills of coordinating this kind of information, this kind of data from structures, from the people, that she made sure that the ANC grapples with issues that affect people on a daily basis. On tough discussions, Comrade DSG was a very strong person, was a frank person, loyal to decisions that would have been taken. So she did not mince her words. She despised people who, or any conduct that veered away from decisions that were taken. So she was upright, she was frank, and she was able to escalate and clarify things that needed to be clarified. And she was always on top of issues.
Yeah. I think we perhaps in the public would know a completely different side to the one that you know behind the closed doors of those important meetings, right? I mean, would she go as far as to be confrontational when she needed to be, even if it involved the president?
Yeah, Comrade DSG was not afraid of anybody. She was frank. I mean, the top 6 is a collective, the NWC is a collective, the NEC is a collective. One thing that she was capable of doing when she felt that somebody is veering away from what had been agreed on, she would not dilly-dally on that. In fact, she would go as far as providing evidence of her claims. That, look, this is what we agreed on. She would put the dates there. And that's why I said earlier on, she was able to put her administrative skills quite to use in a manner that empowered the decision-making process. So she was frank. I think for me the best word would be she was very frank. She was loyal to decisions, and being frank means you tell those who are your seniors, who are your juniors, like many of us who are also young, who had a short stint of working with her. She would whip us into line on various areas where she felt that we were wrong. Most importantly is how she also dealt with criticism on her side. She was able to absorb it and to take counsel from even those who are younger like ourselves. And so she was a very frank person in that way.
And of course, the challenges continue, don't they? There's a conference coming up in KZN in just a day or so's time. We're building up to the policy conference. And then, of course, there's the big one in December. How do you fill the holes that her presence would have left?
Well, it is true. The challenges of the ANC will be there. But what is good is that the African National Congress has adopted a program since 2017 National Conference of Unity and Renewal. And this is a program, it's not an event. And at various levels, the program of renewal has been implemented. It is work in progress. Now, recently, we have actually appointed a renewal commission that is going to assist the African National Congress to go through this difficult time. So it shows that the ANC is committed to the renewal program, but it's not an easy one. And that is why we say the gap that she has left is it's a serious void. Because in this task of renewal, we need everybody's skills and expertise. And expertise, skills, and leadership qualities of a person in Comrade Jessie Duarte is what we also needed quite dearly. But we believe that with interventions that we have adopted, will navigate this difficult moment.
And the renewal process, as you say, it's been years in the making. You say it's not an event. It's a program of action. Surely an important part of that renewal process means getting rid of the people who are in government, who are appointed by the African National Congress, and who face serious allegations. That must surely be parallel to the renewal process of the party.
Indeed, part of the renewal is how we implement our deployment policy. We need to introduce quite stronger efficiencies. As you would have seen that even at the Zondo Commission, our deployment policy was at the receiving end. So what we need is to ensure that when we do deployment, we also have to work much more harder, much more better, much more smart. So that means that we have to make sure that those who are in government, those who are technocrats, they also have to really deliver, serve in the best interest of our people. And as you would have seen, that the ANC has gone further to also implement various interventions that relates to how do you deal with people who are accused or who are indicted. So obviously it is work in progress. We are working on the fight against corruption. We are also making sure that we are not only focused on fighting corruption, we are focused on delivering the necessary services to our people. Our people are suffering. They are unemployed. That is why the ANC-led government is embarking on various on economic recovery program to ensure that as we fight corruption, we must also deliver on the basic needs of our people.
Certainly. Sibongile Besani, the NEC member, also the head of the ANC Presidency. Of course, actions speak much louder than words.